As we move into severe weather season, you need to know how to prepare for any outcome.
This morning, we're talking to Chelsea Sawyer, the coordinator for Chatham County Emergency Management. She's live on Zoom for us this morning. Chelsea, thank you very much for joining us here. Tornado season usually peaks in March, April, May. You guys know that. But what should we start doing right now to get ready?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for having me this morning. There are always three things that CEMA is going to recommend as we're getting into and in the midst of that peak tornado season. First thing, make a kit. Your emergency kit isn't necessarily the same thing that you would have for hurricane season. You can adapt it slightly for tornado season. You want to have things that you would need in an immediate response. So a little bit of food, more snack items would be helpful. Things to keep your kids occupied if you're keeping them in a very specific location for potentially an extended period of time. And then make sure that you have shoes if you were ever in a situation that you needed to get out of that area after a tornado has come through, there's debris on the floor. Have shoes in your emergency kit. Trust me on that one. Next, you want to make sure that you have a plan. Where are you going to go inside of your home? If you're traveling in your car and there is suddenly a tornado warning, what is that plan going to be for you and your family? It may differ depending on where you're going and what your strategies are. Last thing, this comes from the Insurance Commission. They're really valuable in that, and that is make a list of the items in your home that you, one, wouldn't want to live without, and two, would be really hard to replace. So those are kind of the three main things that we're recommending for people to do at the beginning of tornado season.
Great advice, Chelsea. Now, as we just heard from Storm Team 3 meteorologist Kyle Dennis, he said that several area counties are under a tornado watch until this afternoon. What are some of CEMA's primary functions on the day of a severe weather threat that differ from a quote-unquote normal day?
Yeah, we're going to use that quote-unquote normal day. Every day is a little different, but when we do have the potential for severe weather, we have a program called our Duty Officer Program, which is staff that are trained to respond to emergency events in an instant. And a lot of our duty officers are monitoring the situation from their desks. If we were put in a tornado watch or some type of watch that elevates that for us, so we would be going into the situation room, we would have radar pulled up, constant communication with the National Weather Service so that we know when they're anticipating some other watches or warnings that might be headed our way.
Chelsea, last question for you. Let's talk about why relying on those sirens as a primary weather alert's probably not the best idea, but what people should do, though, if they are outside when they hear a siren.
Sure. So as you've already hit the nail on the head, you don't want those sirens to be your number one way to receive emergency notifications. I heard Kyle talk about the WSAV weather app. That's a fantastic option. If you are outside and you hear those sirens going off, you need to seek immediate shelter. If they go off, especially today or this time frame, you want to make sure that you take immediate action and don't think that they're going off in error. We do test the sirens, but they're not going to be testing today. They're not even testing this week, at least audibly. If you hear them, you need to take immediate action, get inside, and make sure that you find a way to receive news and know what's going on.
All right, Chelsea Sawyer with CEMA. Thank you so much for your time this morning. We appreciate you. Have a great day.